The Golden State Warriors are yet to make a single move in free agency, but they may have been gifted another worthy signing this week thanks to one of the worst teams in the league. The Charlotte Hornets have waived defensive wing Josh Okogie after failing to find a trade partner for the 26-year-old before his $7.7 million contract for next season became fully guaranteed. As a result, Okogie now hits the free agency market where he could provide the Warriors with a younger and arguably better alternative to Gary Payton II. Josh Okogie could be the ideal Gary Payton II replacement. Payton remains an unrestricted free agent himself, having not signed a deal with Golden State or elsewhere since the period opened over 2 weeks ago. Perhaps the 32-year-old is just waiting for the Warriors to resolve Jonathan Kuminga's future before re-signing with the franchise, but there's also a chance that Mike Dunleavy Jr. and the front office are prepared to move on from Payton, as they did with fellow beloved veteran Kevin Looney. Okogie could be a slightly bigger version of Payton in the Warrior system, providing them with the much-needed perimeter and wing defense that they currently lack on a roster that still remains with only 9 players. Okogie has many of the same offensive limitations that Payton does, but could become a similarly smart cutter who can take advantage of the gravity of Stephen Curry and the playmaking of Jimmy Butler. He's never going to be fully respected as an outside shooter, but Okogie has made slight improvements in that area after shooting less than 30% from three-point range through the first 4 years of his career. He's shot north of 30% in each of the past 3 years, and most recently made a career-high 34.8% last season, which included 38.1% in his 25 games with the Phoenix Suns. In 40 games with the Suns and Hornets last season, Okogie averaged 7.1 points, 2.8 rebounds, and 1.2 steals per game. It's the defensive end that could make him a real difference-maker, with the numbers from last season suggesting he's a better option than Payton at this point despite playing for 2 lottery-bound teams. Okogie kept opponents to less than 44% shooting from the floor last season, including a staggeringly low 17.7% on three-pointers. In contrast, opponents shot 47.7% from the floor and 37.2% from beyond the arc when guarded by Payton. Neither player may be a guaranteed piece in Steve Kerr's rotation, and Payton does have the sentimental factor in his favor, but Okogie could be an upgrade that the Warriors look at now the Hornets have let him enter free agency. Many Los Angeles Lakers fans have unapologetically voiced their frustrations with the offseason that Rob Pelinka is having. The Golden State Warriors serve as a healthy reminder that things could always genuinely be worse. Both the Warriors and Lakers entered the offseason in similar positions. They were playoff teams hoping to build on their foundation to truly join the elite company of the Western Conference. It is fair to question how successful the Lakers have been in elevating themselves from where they were last season. However, the incompetence of their Pacific Division rivals in retooling around their core is downright blasphemous. Warriors' offseason continues to stall due to Jonathan Kuminga. The inescapable nightmare that has haunted the Warriors in the summer of 2025 is the restricted free agency of Jonathan Kuminga. With no movement or traction on that front, the Warriors have done quite literally nothing else during that time. Jake Fisher released his latest NBA rumor mill updates on Thursday, focusing on the restricted free agents in the league. It was clear that Kuminga's situation lacked positive updates. Fisher highlighted the Sacramento Kings and Chicago Bulls as consistent teams linked to the young forward. However, nothing has trended in the right direction. Fisher even added that the Phoenix Suns had entered the sweepstakes following their escape of the Bradley Beal saga. That was immediately asterisked with the fact that the Suns do not have much to offer for the Warriors in a potential sign-and-trade scenario that would be worth their time. With no nearing solution to the question of what to do with Kuminga, the Warriors are firmly in limbo. They have stood idle like an NPC in an RPG. Lakers have done their due diligence in free agency. The Lakers, for their part, have improved their team during the offseason, aggressively moving up to snag Adu Thiero in the 2025 NBA draft was a great start. The tough blow that left a sour taste in everyone's mouth was losing Dorian Finney-Smith to open free agency. That was particularly disappointing given the second-round draft capital surrendered to acquire the two-way forward. In all fairness to the Lakers, they recovered respectably. Pelinka pivoted to adding Jake LaRavia shortly after. The extra financial flexibility was also used to address their biggest need, the center position. The DeAndre Ayton signing came with skepticism. However, a solid case can also be made for it being the best the Lakers could have done in the circumstances. Suffering through the recent LeBron James saga was not fun for Lakers fans. There also remains a clear need to keep improving the roster. However, the spot that Los Angeles finds themselves in is not terrible by any means. It is easy to get frustrated watching teams like the Denver Nuggets and Houston Rockets improve. If comparison is the activity in play, then Lakers fans should also be able to find comfort in seeing the Warriors getting left behind by the Western Conference in far more laughable ways. The Warriors have been rather stagnant in the free agency market after losing Kevin Looney to the Pelicans. They were expected to be frontrunners for two key veterans, Al Horford and Anthony Melton. But rumors claim the former Celtics player Horford is mulling over retirement before deciding on whether to come back for another season. According to Mark Spears of ESPN, Stephen Curry plays a potentially crucial role in how Horford may go about this decision. Spears claims that Horford's eldest son is a massive fan on Curry and could push his father to officially confirm the deal, which has reportedly already been agreed upon with a handshake deal. But keep in mind, do you know who I think is going to be in this decision? His 10-year-old son, Ian. Spears shared Tuesday on NBA Today. He just started traveling with Al on the road about 2 seasons ago. The kid loves basketball. I know he's like, Dad. Steph Curry, Dad. I can see Ian convincing his dad to keep playing. Earlier this week, Curry was asked what he felt about Horford potentially joining the Warriors. He indirectly confirmed that the veteran is coming but refused to comment on it further. He's a champion, great player. When all that stuff happens, I'll talk about it. Al Horford averaged 12.9 points, 7.9 rebounds, and 3.2 assists in his carry, are where he played for 4 teams so far. But last season, his numbers drastically fell to 9.0 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 2.1 assists per game. But he is a solid 37.7% shooter from beyond the three-point line. While Horford's production is no longer at the same level as it was in the prime of his career, his presence in the locker room would be crucial for helping a young stretch big like Quinton Post grow into the Warriors' potential future starter. Post is also a stretch big who could learn from his experience working with Horford. Therefore, Horford's signing could not only solve a short-term problem, but also a long-term one for the Warriors. Horford won his first NBA championship in 2024 with the Celtics to put the cherry on the cake for what has been an exceptional NBA career. Will Horford hang up his boots for good, or will he lace them up for one last season on the Warriors with Stephen Curry for his son? A lot of unanswered questions lie in the future of Al Horford.